Hi fishies, welcome to the first video, I guess, on my channel. I mean, I've put up videos before, but they're all gone now, so if you liked cringe attempting to be a Twitch streamer content, that's gone. Anyways, hi, my name is Daidi, and welcome to the first entry of Dear Diary, which is spelled with an exclamation point because I wanted it to match my theming already, so. And I wanted the series to just be really personal, unedited, yap sessions. I do have plans for more structured content, more cinematic things and all that, but I wanted these to just be really personal videos where I could just kind of sit down and yap with you guys about my life and things that are going on, and just in general, anything that I feel like, so I didn't really want to make it feel like it was too structured or too one thing, because I have other plans for things like that too. So yeah, this is kind of gonna be my introduction video, so I know I already said it, but hi, my name is Daidi. And I'm currently 21. I like to say aspiring artist slash performer, singer, whatever, because I haven't put out any projects yet, so I always say aspiring, but for real, I am a performer, I am a singer, and I know it's gonna happen. I don't have any other choice, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah. So I have some questions, I guess, that I had written out to sort of guide my way through this video, but I feel like I'm already going off track. So why did I choose the name Daidi? Well, first of all, it's based off the end of Aphrodite, if that wasn't already obvious. And I gotta sneeze. I'm trying to hold it in. We're good. But yeah, my name is based off Aphrodite. It's taking the last end of that, Daidi. And she's the goddess of love, the goddess of passion, beauty, lust, etc. And those are things that I really want to channel in my artistry and in my music and things like that. I don't want to just be a pop star. I want to be, I don't know, I'm very influenced by Greek myth, not in the Percy Jackson type way, but or the modernized way, but what those myths actually stood for. They were just the earliest forms of human. It was just the way that they unpacked and tried to understand the world around them, and different phenomena, be it emotionally or naturally or physically. That's where Greek mythos comes from, and I feel like it's just been turned into this almost cringe factor, because everybody knows Hercules and Aphrodite, but do you really anyways, I could go into a whole thing on that, and I guess we could do myth breakdowns too, especially because a lot of the tracks on my first project are themed around these different myths and mythos, so there's something in that. But I'm also a Pisces. I was born in February. I'm actually right on the cusp, so I'm February 19th, so I'm the first day of Pisces. And there's not only the water sign connection to Aphrodite and the ocean and the fish, which is also why you guys are my fishies, but Venus is just the ruling planet of Pisces, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I feel like that information always gets changed around and whatnot, but if I'm not wrong, Venus rules Pisces, so she's my goddess, literally. But anyways, that's kind of why I chose the name Daidi. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to cut that part out. Fuck, why am I blinking so hard? I get so nervous when I get in front of a camera and have to talk, but maybe I won't cut anything out. Maybe I'll just keep it, because it's I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to just show my flaws and like be human and let you guys learn about me and grow with me, as I learn about myself and grow. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in, even if it's not perfect for YouTube or whatever. Like, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm sorry. Like, I'm here to do things for me, and you guys can either join me on the journey and experience it or not. Either way, like, this isn't for anyone else but me. But anyways, I guess the next question I have is Deity something you made up or something you finally let out? And I feel like it's really a combination of both. Like, I always knew deep down inside of me that, like, there was this artist, this creative. I have very creative parents, especially my mom. And I myself have always been a creative. And especially when it comes to music. I used to like drawing and things like that, but that never like fulfilled my soul. That never set me on fire. But I always loved singing. I always loved performing. I was almost always in some sort of choir or chorus since I was in like elementary school. So it's always been something that I've loved to do. Yeah. There's some other questions on here that I feel like honestly might be better saved for deeper hitting videos. So I'm just gonna keep it surface level. And if you hear my nephew in the back, don't mind it. They can get kind of loud. Anyways. Oh, this one's good, I guess. Who are you when no one's watching? I am very quiet when people are around. I tend to be very reserved. But behind closed doors, like, I am a lover, a creative. I'm an artist. I'm a fighter. I'm just very passionate behind closed doors, and I feel like I don't let that out a lot, even though I'd like to more. I know I'm fidgeting with my necklace and a lot. Sorry, I'll stop. But yeah, I very much am, like, deep down a creative, and I always have been, and I'm very passionate. It's probably the Pisces in me, but I tend to hide it away because this world can be pretty harsh to people like that, and I don't know. I'd like to let her out more, and that's part of what this passion project is all about, is like learning to express myself through many different means. My words, my actions. Sorry, I get really thrown off when he's being loud. I don't even know if you guys can hear that, but if you can, my apologies. Maybe I'll turn my gain down just a little bit in the meantime. Hopefully that's not a lot. Actually, I don't want to turn it down too much. But yeah, I guess I'll get into why I'm making videos or making a YouTube channel in the first place, because that seems kind of random. If you want to be like a musician, why don't you just start making music? Which I am on the side. Like, I have projects that I'm working on. And we'll talk more about that as the fan base grows and as I grow and as like the projects come closer to completion. But things like that take a while. So why did you decide to start posting now? I felt, and this is gonna sound so weird and some people might brush this off, but like, I just felt like I needed to. Like, I felt something calling me, and it was like, you need to start doing this now or you're gonna miss out on your opportunity. And so here I am. Sat down with my camera, my OBS all set up, and just trying to take advantage of the situation that I feel like I've been placed into recently. And I could go more into that, but again, that's like later video stuff. This is just the intro. This is just the intro, as Tory Lanez put it. What do you hope people will feel when they watch your videos? I hope people can connect to me for who I am and the kind of person that I am, but I also hope that I can help people connect to themselves. Like, through understanding me, they can come to understand a little bit more about themselves, especially because I've always been very big on like philosophy and just like trying to understand the psyche and what it means to really be human and to unpack certain things. So like, if that's not your vibe, like if you don't want to understand yourself better, if you don't crave like knowing the self every single day of your life, you're probably not going to enjoy me or my content or even my music, because I want to make things that help people unpack, not things that help people run from or run to like these problems. Anyways, what kind of conversations are you craving? The ones no one seems to be having, and that's kind of more of like a what I was just saying. I like to have like those deep conversations about the self, and also just I'll also put this into like what kind of videos are you hoping to make, besides just like these conversation videos that I'll have with you guys. I'm really hoping to like be able to do like unofficial songs or like covers and things like that, just things to practice not only performing but recording and things like that. I gotta stop saying and things like that. So like, I don't know, call those siren sessions or something. And then I want to do like things that sort of showcase the grind of trying to become an artist, because where I'm at in my life right now, like I'm working towards getting out of the town that I'm in, moving to a town that's more of a music hub, and just trying to commit myself more to like surrounding myself with other artists. But there's a grind in that because I'm not the best off financially, and that's just life, you know, it's hard out here. So yeah, there's that. I also would like to do like song and project breakdowns. That's another one that I'm huge on. Or even just like artist breakdowns, like talking about what I am really inspired by, or what I think like these projects or these songs, their lyrics, their composition, like what they mean to the artist, to me, and to their greater like fan base, and also just to society in general. Because I love to analyze music, weirdly enough. Like, I listen to songs for two reasons. Like, yes, I listen to things to just be catchy, but then I listen to things that like the lyrics make me feel like if a song is alright, but the lyrics like hit on a different level, I love it. Like that's one of my favorite songs of the year. Like, and also just talking about artists in general, because I think it's hard to break down an artist's entire ethos in single projects, because those projects only really show one part of their, you know, their character. What would this channel have meant to you a year ago or 2 years ago? I've always wanted to do like content. Again, like I mentioned at the start of this video, like I tried streaming on Twitch for a while, and that went okay. Like I love community, and online community especially, because we're just in that age where that's like that is our form of community, is like interacting with each other online and forming these sorts of like parasocial bonds and things. But yeah, I want something that would have inspired the younger me to not only create my own content, like I don't know, that's a hard one to get into or like explain, but I want to like something that would simultaneously inspire the younger me to do the things that she wants to do and become the person she wants to become, and also to know that like down the road, like you have every ability to do these things now in this stage of your life, so you should start sooner so that when you were at this stage you could be better. And that's another thing, like I'm 21 and I really haven't done like a whole lot with my life, I feel like, and it's a disappointing feeling. So if you're young, like take advantage, really, like, and I'm not saying I'm old, like I'm young too, but take advantage, because the earlier you start, the more progress you will make. And that's just, I don't know. I that seems like an obvious thing, but I think that's something that we don't really think about nowadays. What is the meaning behind the name Daidi? I already kind of went over that, but I guess I'll do like more personally, not just what it means like in the mythos, but what it means to me. And like Aphrodite's always expressed as this like really like divine feminine, super powerful, but also like super aggressive, like not in like a physical way, but like she had the power to make even the gods lust, and she would use it sometimes for getting things that she wanted or to make people suffer. Like there's a lot of power in her name and like her story, and I just want to be able to like channel that into myself, because I've always felt like my kindness was a weakness or things like that, but I want to find power now, and not in like a power hungry way, but like in a way I think all people should look for in their lives, and I think a lot of us do spend most of our life looking for that kind of power. So there's that. What does it feel like to be Deity? And this one actually, if you asked me like a couple months ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to answer, but I've had this idea and this self, like this transformation into her, happen so gradually but so solidly over the past several months, and it feels good, like I said, like powerful, but also like humbling in a way, which is weird because I'm trying to like build this goddess version of myself, and I think that just makes me understand more that I'm only human, if that makes sense. But like I still have the ability to do all these great things and like all these really powerful things, even though I am only human. And I think that's huge for me. Anyways, if Deity was a place, what would it look like? I mean, like an ocean, like standing on an island, staring out at the ocean at sunset as a storm rolls in. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it does to me. Or like, not even like at sunset, but like right after the sun goes down, where it's still like there's a little bit of tinge in the sky, but everything's dark and you're starting to see the stars, like the twinkle come out. I don't know. That might sound too artsy or pretentious, but that's kind of what I envision when I think about being Deity in my head. What symbols or myths have followed you since you were a kid? Ooh, I forgot I even wrote this down and like how that relates. But dragonflies, that's a huge one. I expect to see a lot of dragonfly symbolism. A lot of seashells, wings. Sorry, this is a weird one. I actually didn't put too much thought into this one. I just kind of wrote it down, but now that I'm thinking about it, like it actually is a pretty good one. Sea foam, weirdly, and seaweed. Just a lot of ocean-related things. Anything Pisces related, like I found this like fossil a couple years back, and I've had it ever since. But it's like one of my favorite things ever. And it's just like this double fish fossil, which is like so Pisces coded, and it's a little fragile now. I don't even want to get into why it's like in this state, because it used to be really well kept, but then I ended up moving, and I entrusted someone to move it to me with a bunch of my other things, and they ended up not caring enough to not break it, which breaks my heart a little, but it's still in good condition. Like, it's not destroyed, it's not falling apart. Well, I mean, it's falling apart, but it's not broken in two, it's still together. So yeah. But yeah, like ocean, shells, fish, things like that. I grew up a lot in the Pacific Northwest, especially like Oregon, so a lot of my earliest memories are like playing on the beach and like messing around with driftwood and things like that. So yeah, just ocean motifs. Expect to see a lot of that. I feel like how SZA has kind of painted herself as like this celestial fairy, like goddess vibe, like of the forest, usually, or like streams and rivers. Like that's kind of what I envision. Like I want to be the ocean. I want to be like the ocean version of SZA, I guess. The content itself, what kinds of videos are you excited to make? Oh, okay. Well, I forgot I wrote this one down. And I already kind of touched on it. The Dear Diary, like the personal vlogs, the grind kind of mindset, song breakdowns, my own like songs, covers, etc. I want to also do like fashion stuff, like get ready with me's and things like that. Like what else? Oh, also like just my process of like learning to be a better performer, learning to play the piano, learning to dance better and things like that. So I think that's also something I'd be really interested in, like just documenting and sharing with you guys. We want people to understand about artistry through this channel. That it's not easy, that it's not simple, that it's not one-dimensional, that it's not this polished, perfect version that, like, I feel like most artists sort of project. Like, we only see the best takes for most artists, and I want to show, like, all the takes. Like, I don't want to just be the perfect version of myself all the time. I want to be able to be human and people not forget that. Because it's, if you forget that I'm human, like, it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. Like, it's something's not clocking, like, you know. Anyways, really ball knowledge for that one, I guess. What part of your creative process scares you the most, and what excites you most? That's a good one. I guess the part that scares me most are the days that I wake up and wonder if I have it in me. Not just to create, but to, like, to cope with what happens if I do create something that people really connect with and I become a symbol and I start gaining expectation. Like, will I be able to keep focus on my artistry? Like, how much of me will fall away into people's expectations and, like, people's judgments and views of me? And I feel like that really scares me. But what excites me the most is, like, being able to, on the same hand, give people expectations of me, but towards the positive end. Like, I want people to expect, like, great lyricism and, like, really deep, thought-provoking, like, conversations and interviews and, like, even just visual representations and performances and things like that. So yeah, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, but expectation and anticipation are, like, both my biggest fears and my, like, the thing that excites me most. And I only really have, like, a couple more. Sorry, I know this video kind of got long. I'm a rambler. I'm a yapper. So, and if you're still here, thanks. You're amazing. But the next part I want to talk about, I guess, is you guys and the community that I hope to build and just, like, who I'm for. And that would be my fishies. What does this name, like, represent? So, Ian, I've talked, obviously, a couple times now about how I'm a Pisces. And the big thing about, like, the symbol of Pisces is the two fish, like, circling each other. And I think where, like, I'm supposed to represent one fish in my creative journey and, like, everything that is me, and, like, you guys are supposed to represent the other one and, like, be my fishies. I also just feel like that's a cute name. I've thought over a lot what I wanted, like, my fandom name to be. Like, I've put a lot of thought into this. I thought, like, nymphs for a while, but I was like, that's kind of too basic. Like, I don't know. It felt like it wasn't really personal to me. And I know fishies is simple, but it's cute and it's fun and it's playful and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think that's important for me because I don't take myself too seriously. Even as a creative, like, I understand that even if I became the biggest superstar in the world, like, I'd still only be a human, I'd still only be a person, and I'd still only be the same body as the girl who's sitting in her bedroom writing these silly songs that I'm writing right now. So, what kind of space are you creating for them here? A safe one. Like, honestly, I want to create a space where you can share the deepest parts of yourself, where I share the deepest parts of myself, where we just, like, go beyond the surface. Like, ooh, that's a good one. That's something that I haven't thought about a lot. Not going beyond the surface, but, like, as soon as I said that, I had this visualization of, like, you have, like, the coastline of the water, obviously, of the sea, and then you can start to wade out, but eventually you get to a point where, like, you can no longer just be on the surface to really admire the ocean's beauty. Like, you have to go below the surface and, like, experience, like, the reef. And there was beauty in that. That was a nice visualization for me. But yeah, that's kind of what I want. That's what I want this to represent. That's what I want this to be. if someone's watching this and doesn't know what they... I was cooking when I was writing these. I was like half asleep. I can't even lie. But man, I was fucking cooking. These are deep. These are good conversation points. If someone's watching this and doesn't know if they belong, what would you say to them? If you don't feel like you belong, that like immediately tells me you belong. Because I feel like this is a space for people that feel very lost, and that are just trying to understand themselves better. Not the people that are lost and want to stay lost, but the people that are out at sea looking for land. Like you're welcome here. Like, I've been at sea for a long time, and I am just setting up my first campfire on this island. Like, come join me, come roast marshmallows, come sing songs and tell stories. Like, that's what I want here. So if you don't know if you belong, you already belong more than most people, especially the ones that feel like they belong here, because there's some entitlement to be said about that, which not in a bad way, you know. If you resonate with my content or me as a person, like, that's great, and I love that, and I appreciate that, and I would never downplay that. But if you feel like there are things that I say that hit, but you don't love me as a person, or you don't love my content, you might think that I'm boring or something, I just implore you to sit through and just like engage more with what I'm saying and what I'm doing, because I promise, as you unpack and try to actually understand me, like, you'll understand more about yourself in the process, because that's what I find I do with people. And if that seems like your like deal, and the things that seems like something that you would enjoy, like, I just implore you to stay a little longer and just hang out, vibe, and connect. And if it doesn't sit, you know, feel free to hop on a raft and float away to a different island. Like, anyways, metaphorically, obviously. What kind of people do you want to find through this? Other creatives, and that doesn't just mean musicians. Like, you could be just a creative thinker. Like, even if you're in the most boring business suit and tie, like, not to offend anyone, I would find that boring, but even if like that's your vice, like, there's still creativity, like there's problem solving, there's a whole bunch of things that go into that. So like, if you're a creative thinker in any way, shape, or form, like, I hope you find your place here, as well as if you're a deep thinker and just like to reflect and talk about life problems and things. And now we get to our closing questions, which is, what would you say to the version of you who was too scared to post this a year ago? Ooh, girl, you should have just started. I would have been so much farther along if you would have started back then. But I understand why you didn't. I understand that, like, things come and go, and, you know, when you have the strength, like, it'll happen. And that's something I've been learning to accept a lot in my life. Like, these opportunities may come, but, you know, maybe an opportunity comes at a headspace where you're not willing to accept or be open to that opportunity. And instead of mourning that opportunity after because it might have been better for you or this or that, like, just take it as it came to me when I was in the headspace not to accept it, therefore it wasn't meant for me, or vice versa. Like, I am with making this channel now. I'm like, oh, I could have started sooner, but it's still not too late, and I'm in the headspace to start making this kind of content, and I know what I want to make, and I know what I want to do. Like, a year ago, I wouldn't have known. I was still searching for, like, what my passion was in life, and I was still running from music and, like, being an artist and being a performer. Like, those were things that I was scared of because they felt pretentious and selfish, and I've learned to get over that hump. So you did great. I'm proud of you. Also, the me that was a year ago was with my ex, and I also just really want to say, like, don't let him get in your head and stop you from streaming and all the things that you love to do. Like, you just needed to push past that and tell him, like, I don't give a fuck if you don't think I'm doing it right or you don't think I'm doing it perfect. Like, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me. And I promise you that we will get better at telling ourselves that. And, you know, the same goes for any viewers out there. Like, if that's where you're at, like, just tell other people, and tell the voice in your head that's been put there by other people that shut the fuck up. Anyways, what are you claiming right now by uploading this? Hopefully I'm claiming, you know, finding an audience that supports me, and even if I'm not, I hope that I am cementing to myself what direction I want to go in. I feel like that's really important. What's one thing you hope someone says after watching this video? I mean, obviously, hopefully, I'm gonna subscribe, and I hope she uploads again soon. But more than anything, I just want someone to find this video and go, like, oh, here's this person being vulnerable, bearing their soul, like, and the video isn't perfect, but it's real. And I can do things that aren't perfect, but real. And finally, and this is a question for me and for you guys, like, what are you willing to become? And that's a hard one, but and you'll come to learn that I love Doechii, and I'm gonna talk about her a lot. But Doechii says in one of her songs, "I'm everything," and that's what I want. Like, I want to be everything. I want to be the moment. Like, I want to be that girl. Like, come on now. Anyways, yeah. So that's just a little intro to me and my channel. And I hope you like it here, and I hope you stick around. And yeah, if you have any questions, I guess, about me as a person, like, or you know, ever need advice or guidance, like, I'm not perfect, but I you know, I think understanding myself can help you understand others, and I've come to a place where I feel like I'm really starting to get on the same page with myself, and I think that's important. So if you need help getting on that same page, follow along. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it's kind of long. I'm looking at the time now, and I'm like, oh god, I just yapped for half an hour. And probably nobody's gonna watch this far, but if you did, thank you, and I will see you guys next time I upload.